Jai Gurudev, everyone. So, Buddhi Pradam Sharade. So we are asking Sharda Devi, Ma Bhagavati Saraswati Devi, to grant us Buddhi. No? What is Buddhi? Wisdom. How do we achieve the wisdom? To knowledge bring wisdom. Knowledge brings experience. So we are asking Ma Bhagavati Saraswati to enlighten our intellect, no? So that we can comprehend. We can have that discrimination inside of ourselves to know. This is what knowledge stands for. No? If you don't know what is right and what is wrong, what will happen? Well, right and wrong is irrelevant also. Everything which is right for somebody can be wrong for somebody. So behind, but there must be a universal truth behind, no? And this is where that knowledge, which we ask Ma Bhagavati, to enlighten us, to really make us understand that what it means to have that discriminative power inside of ourselves. Very often people think that to have discriminative power means we judge. No, there is no judgment. Because when you judge, it is a connotation of negativity. No? So we see somebody, without knowing we judge. But here, it's not about judgment. It's about understanding. Understand what lies behind what we see, what we comprehend with our intellect. And that's what we ask Ma Bhagavati, to give us that faculty to comprehend in deepness that knowledge that we receive. And that's what this mantra is about, no? Otherwise we just hear, yes, it's beautiful. But beauty of the outside doesn't bring transformation. It doesn't bring changes. We are evolving, no? In our life, we evolve. We don't stay the same. When you were small, how you were, how you used to see, what did you like? Do you still like the same thing? Huh? Do you perceive the world the same way? You have evolved, no? You have grown. So like that, when you become spiritual, there is also a certain growth that must happen. A certain understanding must happen. A certain awareness you have to bring towards yourself must happen inside of you. And if that doesn't happen, then there will be no changes. And for that awareness to happen, you need that willingness inside of you. Willingness doesn't mean, yes, I'm on the spiritual path, you know, I'm dressed fancy, and so on. No. That is not the willingness. Willingness is something which is embedded deep inside of you. But once I go through that transformation, there is no way back. If there is a way back, there is no transformation. And that's what we pray, for that transformation to come, to awake. So, do you have any question? Pritu, just one minute. Ask your question. Something fell down. Thank you.
Guruji, it's a bit a polemical question, but...
a bit what?
Polemical.
Polemical.
Like a polemic. Like a tough...
Tough question.
Yes. Can I?
Well, I will try to give you an answer which is...
Thank you. So
I don't know whether I will give a tough answer, because tough answer I can give you privately.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
In public I can give you a more general answer.
Okay, we can handle on later. But this question is a question, actually, I really want to understand. I was just reading Srimad Bhagavata, Canto 8, Chapter 9, verse also 9, where the Supreme Lord, in the form of Mohini, told the demons, "O son of Kashyapa Muni, I am the only prostitute. How is that? You have so much faith in me. A learned person never puts his faith in a woman. Why Mohini is talking in such a way, calling herself a prostitute, and why does she address herself to the sons of Kashyapa Muni by putting them in a very high position, at the same time saying, how can you put a faith into a woman?"
Well, it's you see, when Bhagavan, look here, Bhagavan Srimad Narayana himself has taken an aspect of a woman, not to denigrate women, actually to show the capacity. Very often we see countless examples how somebody's mind get changed. How one become crazy. In Vitthal Dham we were talking about chapter 2 verse 62 of Bhagavad Gita. When your mind is attached to the sense, your mind is attached to the sense object, what happened? No, anger appeared after. Attachment is created. From attachment, desire appeared. From desire, anger appeared. This four thing. If you analyze it, most of the time our mind get attached. Can you please go somewhere else? Thank you. Parla in sense italiano traduzione there, go. I'm sending the French translation also away from here because it's just directly in my ears. So you see, the dependency upon that. That is what is referred here. Very often when a man is attached to a woman, what happens? It becomes very dependent. So that dependency, there is always a certain game but play. When your mind is attached, you are not free. You lose that freedom which you used to have. Here again, Bhagavan is reminding you, as being born, you are a free entity. No? That freedom which you used to have, how can something, whether it's a woman or a thing, or somebody else, be such an importance that you lose your own peace in itself. You lose yourself completely. That is what Mohini Devi is reminding the son of Kashyap, that you are born from a great rishi who have control, self-control. You can't even control your mind. How stupid are you? Remind your source where you come from. You are born from a great rishi. You are born from that peace. You are born from that love. Here he's not talking only to them, he's talking to everybody. No? Because everybody have forgotten that. When the mind is fully absorbed into that object of sense, what happened? Attachment is created. So when attachment is created, what happened? We want to possess that object. We will do anything to possess that object. Two things that come. Either greedy, if I get it, greediness will awake. And if I don't get it, anger will awake. So two things awake. So if I get it, still I'm not happy. If I don't get it, still I'm not happy. So both ways I'm not free. So Mohini Devi remind again, you are free spirit. You are born out of that freedom. That is your destiny. That is your dharma. Why? And this is what we do to ourselves constantly. In a class, like I was giving the example, there's one beautiful girl and 20 young guys looking at only one, as if they don't see anything else. They see only one, thinking that this is my world, nothing else. Finish. So out of the 20, only one will be happy. That 19 will be miserable. So that also depends on your level of how much you are attached to it, Little attachment, you will say, okay, I didn't get it, it's his, be happy, let go. No? But if I don't get it, he got it, he should never be happy. What will do? I'll throw acid on her. Ruin his happiness. This is the idea, see. That's what the next verse, 63, said, no? Loss of memory. When you lose the memory, you don't know what you are doing. In the court, when somebody have done a crime, the judge will sit there, the lawyer will protect you. What he will say? My client didn't know what he was doing at that moment. Judge, a lawyer, here. They will say that. My client didn't know. Loss of memory completely. Mohini Devi remind, by looking at me, you have lost your memory full. You have forgotten. You are dancing just for this flesh and bones, which is in front of you. That's what Tulsidas' wife said to him. When Tulsidas Maharaj went to his mother-in-law's place late night, he could not go inside the house, climb, holding a snake, thinking that is a rope, climb up and went in the room, the wife himself got shocked. The wife said to him, why? If you would have love for God, if you have love for Ram, that much that you like this body, this flesh and bones, that bag of bones, you would have already attained Ram. Yeah, Bhavan, it's a reminder how quickly we lose our peace for just some silly things, whether it is somebody or it is a things. We lose quickly that peace, that joy, that happiness when we can. Our being is that being of love. From small, we have learned to love. But yet, when we become delusional by the outside, we lose even that capacity to reason. Then the memory is lost. When the memory is lost, the intellect is destroyed. So intellect is destroyed. Memory is in the mind, but what feeds that memory is that intellect, no? That gives you that discriminative power itself. When that discriminative power is lost, you are ruined. Not little ruin, you are mega, the greatest kind of ruin you have finished. So that's why, you see, in that stand, canto of Bhagavatam, Mohini Devi is reminding again the son of Kashyap. I said, before you forget, you concentrate upon the object of sense of the outside, reminding you that you are a great personality. She's reminding them, don't be attached to this, what you see outside. That will ruin you. She's saying it to them, but can they listen? When the mind is deluded, when the mind is gone crazy completely, you can't even listen. You don't hear. When somebody is madly in love, you don't see the fault in the person. Everybody will tell you, no, it's the wrong person. What would you do? No, it's the right person for me. I know what is right for me. Who are you to tell me what is right for me? People know, they have gone through experience. And seeing a fool like you doing the same stupidity, they are reminding you, don't do such stupid. Yeah. But no, because you are deluded completely, you can't think. You can't even see. So what happened? You play the game of that's dependence on each another. You play the game of trying to control each another. Guilt feeling to try to control each another. That's a game that very often people play. Then to the end, you have to go to the lawyer and say, I can't live with that person. The same person you used to love, that's the same person you start to see as the devil afterwards. And I live with him. He was very nice at the beginning. He was an angel. Afterwards, I see he have two horns and a tail. So memory is lost from both sides. You see, your mind is clouded. When the mind gets clouded, you start to see things which is not there. Because you start to imagine things. In chapter 3, verse 21 of Bhagavad Gita, there's a beautiful verse. Lord Krishna said that what great man does, people follow, imitate. And whatever standard they have put, the world follow. And it is a beautiful verse, actually, you know, because it is not what Krishna is reminding also to Arjuna at that moment is that, but you're not just a mere person. You're not just based upon your littleness, you know, because everybody, you know, they think that because either you're on the spiritual path or in the world, you have to be little. You have to aim little. Say, no, 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 no. You are a divine being. You have great potential inside of you. You have greatness inside of you. But you have to go out from that limitation which you have set. If you base yourself upon this limitation, you will never grow. You will never be who you have to be. And you have that greatness, that potential. You have that full being inside of you which is waiting to awake. But if you are attached to that lower game, no one will be inspired by that. Everybody is playing that same dirty game now. It's become boring. Your great-grandparents have played the same game. Your parents have played the same game. You are playing the same game. When would you awake? When would the change and transformation happen? You stay down. You forget, but you are such a personality. Mohini Devi is telling to Kashyap, children of Kashyap, you are great personalities, you know. But if you stay down there, you will be just an insect, nothing else. In a pond, there is some insect, you know, swimming down. And in that pond, there is the stem of the lilies. So time to time, one of the insect, this worms, whatever, they go up along the stem. They goes up, and they went away, never come back. So the group of insects start thinking, what is wrong? He went, never come back. Second went, never come back. So they start to analyze, and they see that once a while, one of the insect went there, goes up, never come back. So they make a gathering, they start talking with each other. We will have let's take a certain resolution. And our resolution is that once one goes up, they will come back and tell us what is happening and why they don't come back. So the next one went up. Again the same. He went up. He came out of the water. He was on the leaves, you know. And there he was wet. The sun was shining. So, looking left, right, and dry itself. So as that he started to dry, a certain metamorphosis start happening. So what is happened? After sometimes he was very happy in the sun, he started to feel that his body is becoming bigger, and he have a certain urge to move. He's sort of moving. Now I feel something. It used to be as little worms down there, and now he starts feeling something is moving big. So some wings have grown. So seeing that, he started, oh, wow, I have something which is very interesting here. I start flying and become a dragonfly. Start flying around. 1 round, 2 round, 3 round. It was nice. It's a new world. Everything is new. I'm looking around, left, right. So as he was flying, he looked down in the pond. He saw the group of other insect down there is still turning around and around. So it occurred to him that he promised that the next one who goes up will come and tell. What happened? He said, took his strength and fly back down. But the moment he touched the water, he flew up again and stand on the lily again. I was wondering why. He started to think, how can I go and tell them? So 4 things have happened. 4 realization happened to him at that moment. First, even if he had that, as a first, what happened to him is that, that willingness to grow happened inside of him. The willingness to move away and adventure, you know. So that urge inside of him awake. Second, when he wanted to go back to the old ways, you know, he could not. He tried, he could not go back again. Third is that even if I go, would they recognize me? They will not recognize me because I have transformed. Fourth is that what I have to do now is to inspire others. I will fly all around. Maybe one of them will look up and will realize, let me go and see what is up. So an inspiration of others to bring the others up, that may happen. So when Mohini Devi said to the son of Kashyap, you know, he's telling them, awake, you know, I have come to free you. I have come to remind you. Like it said that in many times, you see. The divine come to remind humanity, you know, that one have to awake out of that delusion which one have set. And that delusion is a herd mentality, you know. We are so attached, you know, we do always things the same. Of course, outside things change, but very often we keep repeating the same drama, the same scenario. They say, no, go out of that drama. Go out of that herd mentality. And you have seen when a sheep jumped the fence. You know, you have a herd of sheep. When one jumped the fence, what happened? Sooner or later, all of them will follow. One person cut their jeans here. Sooner or later, every idiot will be doing the same thing. They call it style. That's why there's, you know, they show the beggar and the person which is doing style. Said, I'm dressed like you. And that's what we have to understand, We have great capacity inside of ourselves. But are we allowing that capacity, that willingness to transformation, that force, that divine energy inside of us to push us forward, or stopping us? So most of the time, we stop us by our own delusion. And that is what it is. Anybody else? One? Yes? If it come to you, you take it.
Jai Gurudev, in Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse 30 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, the conception of the Virat universal form of the Lord, as it appears in the material world, is not real. It is to enable novices and the less intelligent to accept the idea of the Lord having a form. But in fact, the Lord has no material form.
Yes.
Would you please clarify
It's easy. You have to understand that Bhagwan, you see, every form is limited. But his form is not limited. It's not bound by Maya. So even the form that we perceived, with our physical eyes, it's a certain limitation that he put upon himself, but we can have a certain conception of him. Otherwise we can't. Yeah. Even to the extent when Arjun see that cosmic form of Bhagavan Krishna, I say, no, I can't comprehend this form, because our comprehension is still limited. So even that cosmic form that he shows is still limited. So because we can't comprehend the greatness of it, it's beyond. And that form that he manifests, it's not by limitation. When we see Arjun have seen that form, but still a form. No? First it was bright light completely, that little Krishna which was, pow, a thing, bright light. And out of that bright light, that cosmic form of Bhagavan appeared. No? So again, he showed to Arjuna a form that, yes, here, this is a glorious form, but they talk about is God, But can you comprehend me beyond that? You can't. You are still seeing me with a mind which is limited. So that's what that verse is saying. Yeah. So very often we think that, yes, it's that only this form, No, his form is beyond. Beyond even that comprehension of that. And his form is not material. His form is not bound by Maya, like every other form. So what happened very often, we project our own projection upon that. That's why the verse is saying, no, it's far more than that. So, okay. Very good, Dave. I love you.